The Medford School District talked about proposed changes to its cell phone policy.
Plus, a Medford School Board member talks about an incident at a school district office involving a weapon.
And it's another wet day for Southern Oregon and Northern California. More rain and strong winds as we start out our Friday.
Watching out for you. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 a.m. on Friday, November 22nd. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm David Alvarado.
And I'm Brinkley Hill. Let's check in with Stormwatch 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress. So as you head out for your commute, maybe to the school bus, Sarah, what can people expect?
Well, people can expect very windy conditions and rain as well. That'll be the trend even as we're moving through a bit of the day. Taking a look out at our radar, seeing a lot of green on that screen and some areas of yellow. Where you're seeing that yellow, a little bit more of the heavier precipitation, a lot of it into Northern California this morning, and a bit of it making its way up into Jackson County as well. That'll be moving through as we're heading through the rest of the day. So expect very wet conditions, cloudy skies if you're not seeing a shower at the time, but we're going to be warming up into the 50s for the whole region. Possibly expect a thunderstorm to work its way in along the coast. And along with the rain, we're tracking very windy conditions, especially into those higher elevations, possibly seeing gusts to 60 to 65 miles per hour east of the Cascades, along the coast into the Shasta Valley. This morning, possibly dealing with gusts of about 45 miles per hour into the Rogue Valley. That'll be dying down a bit as we do head into those afternoon hours. And we're also tracking the flood warning. Now, we'll talk more about what we can expect through the rest of our Friday coming up in our next forecast.
And moving into our top story this morning, an Eagle Point teacher's assistant was arrested for sex abuse. After a month-long investigation, Jackson County Sheriff's Office Special Victims Unit has arrested 38-year-old Amanda Leonardo. She's known to go by Pody. Leonardo is facing charges including sex abuse, luring a minor, tampering with physical evidence, and providing liquor to underage students. If you have any additional information on the case, you can call detectives with the number on your screen. The Sheriff's Office says her charges are unrelated to her position with the Eagle Point School District.
NewsWatch 12 has reached out to Eagle Point School District, who said Leonardo was placed on administrative leave when the investigation started. The school district plans to complete their own investigation when law enforcement ends. A parent told NewsWatch 12 Leonardo was a teaching assistant at Eagle Rock Elementary. This is a developing story. If you miss any of this, you can head to our website, kdrv.com.
This was super unhinged and erratic behavior that I witnessed as he threatened and went through this. Coupling with the fact was a lot.
Reaction to one school board member being accused of making threats. Medford School Board member Suzanne Messer talked about board member Michael Williams having a confrontation with Superintendent Brett Champion. Williams was wearing a knife during the confrontation. The Medford School Board is considering whether to investigate the incident at the district's own offices.
NewsWatch 12 is tracking 2 complaints, one by 10 women at the district office and one by Superintendent Brett Champion. Joining us live to break down these complaints is NewsWatch 12's Luke Doughton.
Damian Brinkley, good morning. That confrontation happened last month at those school district offices. Last night, those complaints were heard, but also some came to Williams' defense.
During the meeting, Michael's emotional breadth was the gambit from happy to sad to almost crying to angry to jovial to uncomfortable.
Suzanne Messer is sharing what she saw between fellow board member Michael Williams and District Superintendent Brett Champion last month. She shared it at the district's Thursday night board meeting. Champion filed a complaint against Williams at that same meeting, but Williams was absent.
Due process and fairness that before any findings are made, that he should at least have an opportunity to make a statement on his behalf.
People are trying to help kids, right? Like, that's our whole job, is to help kids. And you never want to hear, should we call 911?
Lorena Warnock works at the same district office, and she filed another complaint against Williams for the same incident.
It's a public official, right? This is an elected person who had weapons in the district office.
And how safe and secure are our district staff when they have to experience the aggressive behavior that we just heard outlined? Board members are not exempt from that responsibility. We have to be held accountable for that.
He's being painted in such a false light.
It's really sad.
It's disgusting.
He's not an intimidating person. He's a big man. He's not intimidating anybody, not from what we can see.
During Williams' absence, this couple spoke in public comments to the board defending him. The school board agreeing to let Williams defend himself.
When somebody's behaving in a way that they shouldn't on school boundaries anywhere, we have the ability to file trespass and say you're not allowed on this campus for carrying a knife on campus.
But with him as a board member,
Then it gets a little trickier, but I still think that we as a board have to choose to prioritize the safety of our staff and students over what an elected official thinks is okay.
This is a developing story. NewsWatch 12 will keep you updated as we learn more about this. Live in studio, Luke Doughton, NewsWatch 12.
Thanks, Luke. Now, at that same school board meeting last night, they also went over the new cell phone policy for the school district.
NewsWatch 12's Samantha Cadera attended the meeting and has the latest.
The cell phone policy was discussed along with many other topics at the meeting, following Monday's town hall where the district heard from staff, students, and parents about potential changes. The board is working to balance students' learning needs with safety and consistency across all schools, and it's a key concern. Let's take a closer look at the results and what's next for the policy. Question 1 asked, how well do you feel student cell phone use is being managed at your school? And the most popular response was that people were very pleased with the current management, with 34% of respondents choosing this option. In question 2, should changes be made to the current district-wide cell phone policy? When asked if the district should make changes, 45% of people responded yes, while 54% said no, indicating a divide in opinion about whether the policy needs adjustment. These results are part of the reason why consistency was brought up so strongly in the school board meeting. While students, parents, and teachers all have differing views on the current rules, people feel like there's a need to standardize how cell phone policies are enforced across the district.
That was the biggest thing I kept hearing is we're not consistent across the schools. Where one junior high is more lenient, the other one's tighter.
The board also discussed the challenges of balancing different opinions.
Students say it's too strict already, parents say it's about right, teachers say on average, we need to do some more. I think what we end up with is going to be difficult. I think we need to look around, talk more, see what other school districts are doing, look into the research.
In the end, the board acknowledged the need for more consistency.
When elementary is tighter, one's not. So we need to get more consistent. That's what I heard most by the end.
The board shared that they would continue researching and gathering feedback before making any final decisions. We will continue to track this story. But for now, reporting in studio, Samantha Cadera, NewsWatch 12.
The free application for federal student aid is finally open. This year's online FAFSA form officially opened Thursday for students seeking financial aid for college during the 2025 to 2026 school year. Traditionally, the form is available on October 1st, but the Department of Education delayed the release. The holdup was an effort to avoid a repeat of last year's rocky rollout after making significant updates to the application. Officials expected a December release, but pushed up the opening date after 4 testing phases. Jackson County is working on plans for a new animal shelter. During the commissioner meeting, a rough plan for a new shelter was discussed that both was affordable and practical. They've adjusted the design to cut costs, and this drops the price from roughly $15.7 million to $13.1 million by removing space for cat services. The main focus right now is on creating a shelter that works for the county's basic needs.
The reality is that we had, this is about as robust of a plan as I think anybody could expect. And I appreciate the work done on it because it does benefit the community and it's what the community wants.
County is still working on the details of the budget, but the goal is to make sure that the design is done right first. Construction would start over 2 fiscal years, giving them the time to get everything right. The conceptual plan also mentions starting from scratch on the budget to make sure they know exactly what's needed and how to fund it.